Mahendra ji, how are things looking like in this COVID? Examination सब कैसे conduct हो रहा है? I heard you guys bumped into some issue last week, right?
Sarma sir. Oh, okay.
मंगलम जी, एग्जाम तो ऑनलाइन चालू कर दी है. We have started since 15th of May.
अच्छा.
The remedial part, we did a mock and was successful with 94% positive results.
Okay.
Then we went to full-fledged online mode, and we blended the entire thing of MCQ, open book examination, and we used all the tools. So right now the exams are going smoothly, and probably in Gujarat we are the first university conducting online, and would be completing by the entire examination by 15th of June.
Excellent.
We will declare the results also.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Excellent. Great.
Yeah. Because a lot of students were placed well before February. So we have around 200 companies which recruited before February, and during lockdown 116 companies conducted the recruitment process. So
excellent. Okay.
Which has already been placed, so just to keep the candidates on track for their career, so we decided that we should not in any way delay the examination. So, and our act empowered us to take a lot of decisions. So though UGC gave a recommendatory guideline, but we took our own decisions.
Okay, great. That's nice. And अभी गणपत भाई जी कहाँ हैं? अभी गुजरात में? He's still in US.
No, he is in California.
He's in California. Okay. So how many participants are we expecting approximately?
More than 200, 225.
Okay.
Very good.
Some of them might be watching on Facebook and YouTube channel also.
Okay.
So we have a live Facebook on our page.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, I just got to know today morning. So Sangeeta did inform me that we are streaming live on Facebook as well.
I mean, sir, we can start if you wish. Amin sir, we can start now.
Okay, shall I start? Fine. Very good morning to all. I, Dr. Kiran Amin, on behalf of Ganpat University and Microfocus Software University Center of Excellence, welcome you all, especially during a pandemic situation, COVID-19. I welcome all the dignitaries who have been here with us. Especially, I welcome Dr. Mahendra Sarma sir, Honorable Pro-Chancellor and Director General of Ganpat University. Welcome, sir. I also welcome Mr. Sriram Rajgopalan. He is playing active leadership role in multinationals in Microfocus. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you for this chance as well. Yes, sir.
I welcome Mr. Mangalam Singhania. Thank you, sir, for making it possible here with us during a pandemic situation from a long distance. Who is a country manager at Microfocus. Thank you, sir.
Completely our pleasure, sir.
Yeah. I welcome Mr. Uday Shankar, AVP Transneuron. Thank you, sir, for sparing a valuable time here with us. Especially, yeah.
Thank you so much.
I welcome Ms. Sangeeta, coordinator from the Transneuron. Welcome, madam.
Good morning, sir. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Yeah. I welcome Dr. Rakesh Manjara, Dean of BTech Program, Dr. Paresh Solanki, Head of the Computer Engineering, Professor KP Patel, Dean of Diploma Programs, all the faculty members, respected parents, and especially the purpose of today's program is to conduct a webinar on the Microfocus Software University program, which we are running at the Ganpat University. So thank you all for joining. The intention, again, I would like to share in a brief, in order to train the students with the latest technology, especially for the artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, quality engineering, DevOps, the Ganpat University, who has already established a Center of Excellence in collaboration with the Microfocus Software University. The Microfocus Software University, which is the biggest university across the globe, and we are fortunate that we have a collaboration with the Microfocus. Thank you all. As a part of this webinar on the Microfocus University program is organized here, and we will cover various points where the students will get information about what is the Microfocus Software University program which we are running over here. What would be the benefit to the students once they opt for the program? In addition to regular teaching learning process, what is the importance of enrolling particular this program? And students really will enjoy by joining this program, because we are running this program throughout the year, and we understand this is the age of competitive age where the students should develop their capability, and in addition to regular teaching learning, they should have a hands-on practical exposure on this particular various technologies. So what are the benefits the students will get, how the students will get benefit, and that would be reflected whenever they opt for the job. So here today we have with us more than 250 participants across Gujarat. So mostly majority students are from the out of Ganpat University. So the Facebook Live is also going on. So more than 2,000 participants have joined. So this would be beneficial to the students, and especially I welcome to all the dignitaries. I welcome to all the participants joining here, especially for pandemic situation, which is like COVID-19. Now we have with us our Honorable Pro Chancellor and Director General, Dr. Mahendra Sharma sir. Sir is a seasoned scholar and acclaimed academician. His vision and perseverance have indeed helped Ganpat University gain unparalleled success and achieved several milestones in academics. I now request Dr. Mahendra Sharma sir for his welcome address. Please, sir.
Good morning, everyone. In particular, we are gratified by the acceptance of our invitation by Shri Ramji Rajgopalan, Mr. Mangalam Singhania ji, Uday Shankar ji, Sangeeta ji, the entire team of Microfocus, which is an important part of Ganpat University Microfocus Center of Excellence for Machine Learning, Artificial Intelligence, DevOps, IoT, and several such futuristic technologies. I equally take this opportunity to welcome my colleagues, Dr. Rajan Purohit, Dr. Kiran Amin, Dr. Rakesh Manjara, and the entire team of Faculty of Engineering and Technology, which has made possible to organize this webinar. Very important webinar to address the students on the opportunities with Microfocus Center of Excellence. And in the world, we are all facing this situation of COVID-19, and everybody is talking about new normal. And when we are talking about this new normal, probably the nature of employment, we are hearing WFH, which says work from home, and such kind of newer phenomena which are emerging, and probably newer practices will evolve. If we look at what the World Health Organization is talking about is we have to live with this for some period of time, probably a year or so. So when we have to live with this COVID situation for almost a year, and not transformation from businesses to the work culture, probably the change in the taste preferences of career will happen. And I can foresee a lot of opportunities which will the students will be looking at would be particularly from work from home perspective, would be into IT technologies, and probably with this changed part, and humanity will never remain same post COVID, because even if it is 2021 and beyond, the situation would change drastically and everything would be technology driven. So all those whom we used to term as future technologies will become the technologies to live with and would be advanced further year on year. So we have to be artificial intelligence, machine learning, everything would remain part and parcel of businesses and human life, and it's going to stay. So it's never being a more opportunate time for aspiring budding young graduate to look at the possibility of engaging with this technology at this time. While you are housed in the four wall of your house, it is equally important that you keep a vision intact about what's going to happen and what's coming. And if that understanding is evolved, probably you would understand that engaging with these technologies at this point of time can create opportunities which probably people enjoyed almost when the industrial revolution started. So it's of an equal intensity. It's tremendous opportunities which are evolving based on these technologies, not only from employment perspective, but also from entrepreneurship perspective. So it's a great time. There are worries to take care, but from worries there are opportunities also. And if a holistic vision is evolved, probably working with an organization like Microfocus, who have proven expertise and technologies in this domain, and getting know-how from them, getting skilled from them, and at the same time certified jointly with the university and engaging with the right people would create an opportunity which will be unparalleled. So it's a great opportunity time also if we see it with that perspective, and hand-holding with the right people is very important. It is said people, place, and event decides what will happen to an individual's life and career. So if you are with the right people, have such events would fusion your vision, and the place is Microfocus Center of Excellence. So if this blending happens, it would be totally transformatory for your career. So I hope that the guidance given by Mr. Sriram Rajgopalan and the entire team of Microfocus University, and this platform of a university and an organization coming together, creating opportunity of engaging into futuristic technology courses and getting certified, probably would be transformative for any student and his career. So I welcome you to this webinar, and I understand that if you are actively engaged and you would explore the possibilities, you are with the right people in the right hands, and that would take you a long mile in creating a successful career and a successful, fruitful life also. So with those words, I thank Sri Ramji for accepting our invitation and addressing the student and large. Your words would benefit them in deciding their future and career. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarma sir, for your thought-provoking inputs to counter this pandemic. Thank you, sir. Now we have with us Mr. Sriram Rajgopalan. Sir has more than 23 years of industrial experience. Sir has played a vital role in multinational. Sir has experience of covering PL, sales, program management, and solution architecture. Has focused on the technology, communications, and media industry, international and Indian experience, managing, energizing, and inspiring all the teams. We have with us Mr. Mangalam Singhania, who is a country manager at Microfocus. He is a strategic leader and growth catalyst, revenue and PL driver. He is a champion in initiatives to fuel business, revenues, profit, and margin growth with the strategic changes in his strength. output-driven leader who builds consequences, transcends business needs, and creates a high ROI relationship with the dynamic network, channel partners, and partner bases. Mr. Uday Shankar, who is a AVP TransNeuron Technology Private Limited. He has experience in sales and business development of EdTech services and digital LMS software product across the India geography. He has more than 11 years of experience. He has managed regional and national assignments involving student career counseling, branding building, and people management. Now, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Sriram Rajgopalan, Mr. Mangalam, and Mr. Uday Yadav.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mangalam, can you share the slide deck?
I will do that. 1 second.
Yeah, please. Thanks. While you share the slide deck, first of all, Kiran Aminji, many thanks. Really appreciate your time, and also Sharma ji, other members of the faculty, and our colleagues and friends from TransNeuron, Sangeeta ji, and Uday Shankar ji, and again, very importantly, faculty members and students who are part of the session today. Really appreciate all of you taking time. Okay, so before we start on the slide, I think Kiran ji spoke about my professional experience. I want to share a couple of things before we start off. Actually, okay. Actually, I'm excited to be part of this meeting, wherein I can share my experience and my knowledge with all of you. It would have been better. This would have been face to face, but I think it's we are online and we are in a webinar. I would have enjoyed to be in the midst of all of you, and I promise to come and meet all of you very soon once the COVID is lifted, sanctions are lifted, or we are able to travel freely. Right. So when I am in this forum, I just get reminded about my own student experience. I passed out of BITS Pilani in 1996, 97, almost 24 years ago. And really, I think memories that we carry forever for the rest of our lives. I think that's very important, what we do in a place like this. It's very similar to a banyan tree, which has got deep roots and which leaves a deep imprint in our lives forever. And I will take 2 more minutes before coming into Micro Focus. I think I'm really, when I looked up Ganpati University, right, I saw their vision and mission. I really fell in love with this university and campus. What do they really focus on? Their vision and mission. Again, right, the mission is to provide a state-of-the-art learning opportunity, I think, and really educate the youth in area of professional studies. I think very apt. These are areas which are not addressed many years ago by the universities, but I think Ganpati University is doing it. That's the vision. Really appreciate their vision. And again, what is the mission? Right? Industrial relevance, academic excellence. I think this gives an opportunity today's session to understand how we can bring industrial relevance into academic excellence. And I think it really matches and synergy between what we are trying to do and what the university is trying to do. I'm really grateful to the Pro-Chancellor sir and the staff for giving us this opportunity. Okay. So let's go to slide 1, Mangalam. So what we will run through today is on the advantage of Micro Focus, the Micro Focus Software University, why software is relevant, right? The program building blocks, customer success stories, and we wrap up. Okay. Next slide. So I think Micro Focus as a company, I think we are based out of 43 countries. We have 4,000 partners to sell, deliver, and we have about 300 business critical products. We try to enrich how people work, enrich people's life. We have, for example, software which is used in health in a COVID-like situation, for example, in terms of analytics. We have software which is used in intelligence, security intelligence, for example, right? So I think from the corporate perspective, Micro Focus is a very stable company. We've been there in business for over 40 years, and we have very established products in various areas, right? Data management, content management, and programming. and we continue to innovate. We continue to provide leading technology in areas of security, be it cybersecurity and DevOps as well. So a company which has been in business for 40 years, I think, and really innovating and accelerating innovation over a period of time. The other important thing to keep in mind is that we have grown over many acquisitions as well, and mergers and sellouts, because we continue to focus on what's growing the market, what's helping in terms of innovation and enriching people's lives. That pretty much is Micro Focus in about 43 countries. Can you go to the next slide, Mangala? So, as I said, I briefly want to touch upon how a software is used by some of the companies. If you see today, right, we are all using, let's take for example, we are all online today. The whole discussion is happening on a telecom network. Our software is used to manage many aspects of the telco network in India, and at least 2 of the 3 largest telco networks in India, right, use a software to manage the network. Similarly, the vast services of the 3rd telco are completely managed using our network. I'm talking about India-based and India usage of Micro Focus products and solutions. And again, we take the global experience, right? Our big data solution is at the core of Uber, for example, right? And Uber's being using a big data called Vertica to drive their innovation and insight into how customers and the vendors and partners are dependent on Uber. BMW, for example, I'm not sure how many of you aspire to have a BMW car, right? They are reliant completely on our DevOps environment. You can imagine if there are 100 million lines of code in one car which is tested by our products. So overall, I think we are very proud of our portfolio, very proud of how we impact our customers, how we impact people's lives, and how we provide a mechanism, a platform for people and organizations to leverage our products, solutions, and make a difference. Okay. We'll go to the next slide, Mangala. So one of the hot topics today, I think, is on digital transformation. And I'll give you an example of the large SIs in India. I'm sure all of you must have heard about the large system integration companies in India, Infosys, HCL, Tech Mahindra, Tata Consultancy Services, and also the multinationals, for example, be it IBM and so on, Accenture. So if you see, I think the work from home culture was pretty much non-prevalent in India. But today, because of COVID, almost 95% of the people are working from home in the technology world, right? This is essentially a movement towards digital technology, right? Where business is becoming more digital, their reliance on, I would say, movement towards a complete digital economy, right? Which was unleashed about a few years ago in India with, again, on the economy as well, right? And that is the real focus of CEOs and CIOs and CTOs today. Their number one focus is to get them into a digital business. So if you take Gartner, for example, right? The feedback is 33% of the companies in today's world want to become completely digital, and they see digital business as the future.
Welcome to Microsoft.
I think somebody needs to go on mute. Huh? Okay. So again, so only 4% of the organizations worldwide have no real digital initiatives. And I think, again, if I personally talk of my own experience, right, what I see is, right, all the organizations I'm engaged in have a digital initiative. They are moving towards a digital infrastructure. And companies, for example, are moving towards a paperless organization, completely, I think, remote. If we are not able to support this, the business, economy, and people, right, will become disadvantaged. So we need to have a culture. If you do not have an agile culture, if you do not have a predominantly advanced DevOps culture, and this was a priority for 2020, but I can tell you with COVID, this is going to get accelerated. The companies were struggling to support the movement of workforce who were initially only 10% were working from home to a 90%. If you look at our own experience, I can tell you about 10 years ago when I used to be in Australia and Singapore, I used to watch a movie on the way back from office to home and vice versa on YouTube or any media on my phone. But I used to have buffering issues when I used to visit India. But today I can tell you, our bandwidth, our speed, our digital experience is on par or better. I think this conference, for example, or a webinar is a testimony to that on how India has progressed in the digital economy. When Reliance Jio unleashed the digital business, right, what has happened is India became the largest consumer of data overnight. That's how big the transformation is for our country and economy. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So what does Micro Focus really have in terms of their charter and how do they enable digital transformation? I think first is DevOps. I think every business model gets disrupted. COVID is a disruption. As Sharmaji said, I think we need to accelerate the pace of innovation because of COVID now, right? This is a risk as well as a reward. And this risk and reward phenomenon really disrupts and destroys, in certain cases, the business environment for the better. And we need to innovate. And again, DevOps helps in terms of relevance in a digital economy. Look at how BMW is, for example, leveraging Micro Focus. Let's take, for example, the movement to cloud. Whether you're on a private cloud or a public cloud, Micro Focus has a solution on hybrid IT management to operate and manage the digital infrastructure. Similarly, on security, risk, and governance. Today, because of the virtual world we live in, this has become extremely important. The governments of the countries are focusing on security, are focusing on cyber threats. There's greater emphasis on, for example, on security within the organizations and businesses operating in each country. And here, we are able to make a big difference with our solutions. Now, predictive analytics. What is the buying pattern of a student? What is the buying pattern of a teacher? What is the buying pattern of professionals? What is the buying pattern of doctors? If you're on the phone and surfing, and if you've done a lot of shopping or surfing on particular items, you clearly see ads in your page, right? How is that happening? You have spot ads, for example. That is where I think we play a role in terms of predictive analytics, our platform, in terms of predictive data. We also have unstructured analytic tools. I've been part of an exercise in India where we try to make a difference to a health company, where we're trying to predict using analysis of X-rays and outputs like that in terms of what we can do for the health company in insurance claims. So I think pretty much we are focused on digital transformation, and we are able to enable and help organize, improve their digitosity, if I can use that word. Okay. Can we go to the next slide? How I'm doing for time, Mangalam?
Sir, you have a time, not an issue.
Okay. So thanks for that. So again, on Micro Focus, what we're able to do, I think we bring together the old and new, right? Any investment is for the long term. We as a community, as a country, are very careful with the money we spend. We are conservative, and Micro Focus is on similar lines. We make sure that the investments that our customers, our partners make is not for the now, is for the long term. Able to obtain investment and unlock real value. And that is why we believe in customers and we have long-term relationships. And again, my advice to this community of students as well is technology is a big enabler, will help you succeed, but we also have to have people and relationships. That's drawing on my own experience, if I may say, okay? Now let's come to the Micro Focus Software University, right? So what the Micro Focus Software University is one of a kind, wherein we really want to drive or complement academic excellence by bringing in industrial relevance. And frankly, I think this is our objective. We want to make, I think, the community of students or researchers in the world be ready to plunge in the world of business and industry. We want to complement the formal education. I remember reading books on structured and unstructured programming, analytics back in college. I remember doing courses myself in artificial intelligence and neural networks. And today, I think the application of AI is much, much more than what it was many years ago. So we want to help, I think, students leap into the IT industry. How and why, right? Make it relevant to them, introduce areas like software testing, cyber security, big data analytics, and again, the area of application lifecycle management, DevOps, right? By enabling students on these areas, what we are doing is we are helping them have real skills, make it more attractive for employers. This will require less onboarding. I can tell you my own experience when I passed out of BITS in 96, 97, I really had to work on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday, right? To read. I come from a background of math and electrical electronics. So had to read up a lot on programming, had to read up a lot on, I remember, I'm not sure what books you guys use, for example, Kerning and Ritchie was a book I used for C programming, right? I had to read up a lot on aspects like that, on aspects like telecommunication skills to really boost up my knowledge. But in today's world, I think we have evolved, the gap between the university and industry is narrowing, and that's where the software university program is there to address the skills gap and make the students more relevant to the job market and demands of the business. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So what are we again trying to do here, right? If you see the job market has a specific requirement for skills, right? And the students emerge from the university with a specific set of skills, right? And what is the issue that we have in front of us? The time required to deploy and make a hire, be it a fresh hire from out of university or an experience relevant to the business demand. So therefore, it makes it difficult to hire, or your hiring decision sometimes we're not sure how accurate we are. And before I get into this, certain things which definitely I think we request all students to take to the business when they leave college. You need to have a drive, you need to have a passion, and you need to have a determination to succeed. These are personal characteristics which I look for when I want to hire somebody. I think these are very, very important characteristics in trades, right? Passion, drive, determination, hunger. You need to have this. And again, I think we as a nation are very hungry, and most of our students, if not all, have these skills, which is great. But how do we try to make a difference here? We are trying to address the skill gap, especially in the enterprise software side. So on the enterprise software side is where we as a Micro Focus University want to address the gap by bringing in areas of big data, security, DevOps, and hybrid cloud management. Okay, next slide on the job readiness, Mangala. This magical formula, which is a vision of and mission of the Ganpat University, and which we want to, I think, truly execute and partner in, is to make the students, right, with the help of our university, ready for the industry and business, right, ready for your jobs and make you successful. You will require lesser time to slide in, okay, and move into the industry. Some of you will be far better equipped to handle what the industry wants. And again, it's very critical to move fast as an aspiration in the first few years of a professional career and succeed. Can you go to the next slide, Mangalam? Okay. So what are the factors that increase student enrollment? Vocations. Now, what do you really mean by vocations? Yeah. Vocations really means how we adapted to the job market, what we're able to execute in the industry. On similar lines, what are the job expectations? What are the salary expectations? This is how I think are very closely interlinked. And if you want to, I think, really adapt to what is the expectation of the IT industry or the technology industry, I think we need to take up, I think, vocations which are very important, be it, let's say, big data or security, right? And I think as a person, we all would have invested in a degree which helps us pass out, and we have an aspiration to earn certain salary. And that is why I think these factors of vocation, job expectation, and salary is all together. And that is why, again, we at Micro Focus are playing a critical role. Okay. So your expectation from the job, the business expectation from the job, and the salary expectations of the student, right, will help, I think, is accelerated by our university program. Okay. Let's go to the next slide, Mangalam. So on the trending topic for software jobs, right, what I want to say is today what is really hot, right, or what the market really wants is around software. So we provide a platform of security, we provide a platform of DevOps, we provide a platform of big data and hybrid cloud management or IT management as we call it, right, and enable the students to accelerate. So students from these academic institutions with these industry skills, right, find it easier to get more relevant jobs from the industry. It gives them an acceleration, right, in terms of what they can do with their skills. It shows the hunger and passion they have, how they can accelerate, and how they are able to partner successfully in the industry in developing or delivering innovations which the market wants. I can share with you some of my own experiences. I think, I'm not sure how many of you know Redbus. Redbus.in is a very popular site, is again developed and delivered by one of my juniors from BITS. Again, I think something which technology has enabled and some of the university industry linkages have enabled. So I think it's very important that we latch onto this. Let's go to the next slide on cybersecurity.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, so on the job growth in cybersecurity, what we have is, again, data tells us that the growth in cybersecurity is immense in the last few years. Why? Because there is a digital transformation. There's a lot of digital velocity in the market. So security has become very important. If you take Government of India, for example, they have been emphasizing a lot on security in the last 4 years. The cybersecurity is really, I would say, a very, very hot area. And there are a lot of cyber attacks, cyber hacks which are happening, right? And again, here there's a major issue in terms of skills, major issue in terms of the aspirations of the job applicants matching with the needs of the industry. And that is why it's very important for people to be certified in cyber security, right? Let's go to the next slide on AML. So AI ML again is really, I think, absolutely hot in the market now. So again, it's very loosely defined what is truly AI ML. It's a very, I would say, when I was back in college, I remember doing a course on neural networks and robotics. So what is different today? The difference is today, there's much larger application of this. There's much larger, I would say, or much better algorithms available in terms of AI and ML. And what we can make a difference is you could apply it using the software. You could apply it for a better purpose, right? It could be in automation. It could mean reduced human dependence. It could be reduced human touch point. Today, for example, if you see, Bangalore Airport has announced a contactless check-in and check-out. This would have been impossible in India, or at least thought impossible in India 2, 3, 4 years back. But Bangalore Airport has announced a contactless, I would say, check-in and check-out. This is an example of artificial intelligence, machine learning, automation, which is really relevant today in the industry. Okay, I think on that note, I think Mangalam, shall I hand it over to you? Or
Sure.
yeah, thanks. I think everybody for this opportunity. I continue to remain in this discussion. I'm learning and listening from all of you. I'll stay tuned before Mangalam takes over.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Shri, for extremely valuable insights. Good afternoon, everyone. Of course, to begin with, I would like to thank Ganpat University management team for organizing this webinar. We are almost halfway through the session, and thus it requires a big shout and personal thanks to each one of you from the student community who have joined this and have been extremely patient, listening to the valuable insight, and as well as your energy and enthusiasm and passion to learn something new, which is the reason why I believe all of you are in the call today. Typically, my sessions are more interactive when it is face-to-face, but unfortunately, we are in the middle of this COVID situation and we don't have much of an option. But definitely what we would like to do is at the end of the session, myself and Shriram would love to hear from you if you have any questions or queries, and if there is anything else where we can help you. Okay, before I begin, since COVID is of course the hot topic of 2020, right? And we are also discussing AI, ML, and the latest trending technologies, what is there in the industry. I thought maybe I would just quickly touch upon that aspect as well before we move into the delivery and the university building blocks of the Micro Focus University program. Of course, we know that with this lockdown, the complete physical world has come to a drastic halt or perhaps a slowdown. However, the digital world is blooming, right? We all are using the Netflix, the Amazon Prime, the big baskets of the world, online gaming, etc. Right? Not only is machine learning being used in all of these areas, but machine learning is also playing a very critical role by the researchers to tackle this global epidemic, or rather I should say pandemic, right? We have been seeing this Arogya Setu app. We have been looking at numbers, number crunching is happening. The predictions are happening that, okay, the double rate, everything, all these statistics, what we are seeing, right? So this pandemic is being fought on the basis of numbers and data. In recent times, machine learning, artificial intelligence is being used by doctors and medical personnel to track the virus, identify who could be the potential carriers, and even analyze to the extent that what could be a possible cure which would be available and by when it could be available. You would not believe, but even in the current economic crisis, jobs in the data science and machine learning have been least affected. All these factors basically point out that artificial intelligence and machine learning is here to stay and grow exponentially. Not only that, but also what the industry is perceiving is that these technologies, whether it's artificial intelligence, DevOps, machine learning, cybersecurity, are going to be essential tools that would be needed in building the post-COVID world, right? So this is something about the software university. So what we would cover here is the know-hows of the software industry, which would basically capture what technologies and what kind of different industry-aligned courses we have. We would talk about the delivery model, how these programs are delivered to the students. We would talk about how students play an important role in this entire program, and then the certification part. So currently what we have, the courses, okay, Micro Focus being a product company, we are futuristic. We don't focus only on the present, but we look at what are the future trends, right? And based on the technologies which would be there in future, we devise our curriculum and technology courses based on what would be needed by the students, not now, but perhaps 3 years, 4 years down the lane when they pass out, then they have to be relevant and they have to be on the top, right? So that is where we have courses focused on technologies like software testing, which is also called quality engineering. We have another course on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and IoT, mobile application development and testing, business analytics. Again, business analytics is very crucial for the engineering students as well as the MBA students, the management students. Then we have DevOps, we have cybersecurity, we have big data analytics and cloud computing. Before I jump into the next slide, since Shri already touched upon the topic of Uber, I would like to give an example here. I'm sure all of us have used Uber, right? So the moment you order a cab from Uber, right from estimating the time, determining how far the cab is from your given location, how much time you would take to reach your destination, what would be the fare calculation, all these things are basically driven by machine learning. It uses the algorithms, a lot of algorithms effectively to determine all the parameters which is important to you as a user effectively. It does these by analyzing the data from the previous trips, the traffic signals, the kind of traffic which is there, and putting them all into the, simulating them into present situation. They basically forecast all the important parameters. Not only this, even for example, you talk about Uber Eats, which is of course purchased by Zomato. They also do the same thing, right? Factors like food preparation time to estimated delivery time. All these things are something which is done by machine learning and artificial intelligence. And the crucial factor here is that Uber has been running on Vertica, which is there from long time. Uber has been leveraging on Vertica for this successful business delivery to the customers. And as part of this artificial intelligence machine learning program, we spend a lot of time exploring, letting the students explore and learn Vertica. So you can understand that how the course would be relevant to the students in the current industry and in the future. Okay, we move to the delivering the know-how. So this is about the delivery model. So we have courses which range from 80 hours to 300 hours. We have signed up with the Ganpat University to establish the Center of Excellence, which is a full-fledged 4 years integrated model, which the program is about 300 hours of duration. We deliver roughly around 40 to 50 hours of programs per semester, and with lab assignments, project work, and mini projects. The recommended classroom size, what we have is around 120 students per batch. We typically, what we do is we split the 120 students into 60 students and 60 students. And I would be covering the scheduling later on. But yeah, typical batch size, what we have is around 120 students. This is what we get. What is next? It comes to what the students get. So our courses have a lot of demos and exercises. Typically, the theory and the practical is 60-40. So 40% is theory, whereas 60% of the time the students spend is on demos and exercises, because it's very important for the students to understand the application of those technologies or whatever they are learning, right? It is like you can learn as much swimming, but till the time you don't get into the water, you would not know how to swim. As much theory you can learn. So that's where a lot of focus is spent on the hands-on exercises. Then the the key critical factor which comes in here is that the students get access to the MicroFocus software in form of virtual machine images, which is installed in the university desktops and laptops, desktops and machines rather. These virtual machine images carry a copy of the MicroFocus software. These softwares would perhaps, if an enterprise organization or any of the enterprise customers try to buy, perhaps they would cost not less than some $100,000, ranging up to $1 million or more. But then, because we would like these technologies and softwares to be available to the students at an affordable rate, this is factor, this is discounted to an extremely high volumes to ensure that it becomes easily available to all the students, and all the students can avail avail the benefit of the learning from these technologies. And last is, of course, the customer, which is the university here, who provides their desktops and laptops, where from the students can do the hands-on exercises, access the machine, access the virtual machine images, and also access the course material, which MicroFocus provides individually to each of the students. The delivery approaches, we have two approaches. One is, of course, the train the trainer, where MicroFocus trains the professors of the university, and then the professor in turn trains the students. And the second approach is where MicroFocus directly owns the delivery part as well. With Ganpat University, again, as a center of excellence, when we had started this engagement last year, we got into strategic discussion, and Ganpat University requested MicroFocus faculty to come and train the students directly, because Ganpat University believed that if MicroFocus instructors who are having at least 8 to 10 years of experience in implementation and consultation, if they come and deliver the training directly to the students, it is not only about delivering the course, but it is also about bringing a lot of knowledge from the industry, the kind of projects the professionals, the SMEs have worked upon, the kind of challenges they face in the industry, how the students should be prepared to handle those challenges when they step into the industry, right, moving out of the college. So that experience, something which comes from people who are working directly in the consulting business, and that's where we agreed that, okay, for MicroFocus, for Ganpat University, MicroFocus would do the training for the students directly, right? And I already covered that about the labs and the course material, so that's fine. Each of the students will get access to the labs and course material throughout the program duration. This is what we do about the scheduling. So we have the full time integrated course, which we have integrated into the students' curriculum. And we also do part-time programs, which is typical in the duration of around 15 to 40 days. We do a scheduling, we work with the university on the scheduling and define that when would the MicroFocus instructors come and deliver the program directly to the students. In the full-time program, typically what we do is that we define 1 week, and a group of students are assigned to attend the classes during that time, and it would perhaps be like let's say, for example, 60 to 80 students in batch 1 in the morning, or 60 to 80 students in the batch 2 in the evening or the second half of the day. So this is something which is done as part of the overall curriculum planning, which we do with the university in the beginning of the year. But yes, again, we do ensure that the program is not very heavily loaded, so that the students do not have to spend 8 hours, complete 8 hours a day learning the MicroFocus program. What we typically do is maximum of 4 hours per day per batch. And in that 4 hours, we would have approximately 1.5 hours of theory and 2.5 hours of labs, so that the students are engrossed doing a lot of application level engagement. Now, this is something which is very important, right? The students. So, of course, the college students are basically equipped. The college basically equips the students with a broad level knowledge. As she exactly said, the academic excellence is what the university or the college equips the students with, right? But then there are, you would see there is a gap between the academic excellence and the specific skills that the employers in the market are seeking. This is very much prevalent in case of technology, where the university would focus on problem solving, theory, academic excellence, whereas the industry would expect the students to have the know-how of the industry and technology, right? That's where what we are doing is that we tie up with the universities and provide those industry, we basically bridge that skill gap in the university itself, by giving them access to relevant software tools and industry best practices. And also these curriculum keeps continually gets evolved over a period of time, looking at how the market is responding to those particular technology. For example, I'll just give you a quick example here. We would define a curriculum for a 4 years, right? But then it is not fixed that today, if I start a curriculum in 2023, we would be teaching the same topics. Our curriculum keep getting involved because our core focus is the students. The core focus is to ensure that the students are completely equipped with the latest, the trending technologies, whatever they need to be equipped with when they step out into the industry. Next, we cover the certifications. So each of the students would be awarded a course completion certificate. We have agreed with Ganpat University on the minimum attendance that is needed, and we also conduct assessments. And subject to the students fulfilling the criteria of the minimum attendance as well as the assessment, they get the course completion certificate. This certificate is basically evident that the student has successfully and satisfactorily completed the training. Again, as Micro Focus, since Micro Focus has more than 40,000 customers globally, and Micro Focus is the 7th largest pure play software company in the world, a lot of enterprises gives extremely high weightage to these certificates. So if the students are having this, have successfully completed the course and they carry the certificate, their employability quotient really increases. And then, of course, we have technical software certification, which is based on assessments. So this is something which we are working on. We have certification where students can give online assessments, and they would be given a technical software certification, which is of course offline because it's an optional. Whichever student wants, they can always approach the university, and university would discuss with us, and we can work on the certification part as well. So this is all we covered right now. We covered the know-hows, the delivering, and the students and certification. Key criteria, a very quick blend of how the Micro Focus delivery happens is, of course, we do a curriculum workshop with the university to define the curriculum at the beginning of every academic year to ensure that our curriculum and our contents are updated. Of course, then we talk about the content delivery, which is in form of ebooks or soft copies, which is delivered to the students. Then we have the program delivery, which comes from the Micro Focus expertise, a Micro Focus SME coming and delivering the program. And then we have a lot of engaging programs, like we have poster competitions where we give abstract topics to the students, and students have to work in a group of 5 or 6 students with a mentor from the university and present topics whichever Micro Focus provides. Then we organize webinars, we organize seminars. Then we also have soft skills and hackathon trainings. In fact, last week itself, we have delivered a soft skill training for some of the students in Ganpat University. Of course, then we have the VM images and the course material, and then at the end, we have the industry use case projects. So all of these blend well together to define what Micro Focus would be delivering to the students. Right. So, okay, before I go into the customer success stories and the wrap up, I think so it is very, tell one story, one very quick story. I'm sure we would have heard about the story where, a woodcutter is there who just got a new axe, and he started going into the forest and cutting the trees, right? The first day he could cut around 20, 25 trees. Second, third day, the performance was very good. But gradually what happened is that the number of trees he could cut in a single day started getting decreased. First day, maybe at the end of 20th the day, he was able to cut only 2 trees, and that also he was getting extremely tired. Later, a wise man observed this and observed the, uh, the, the performance degradation of the woodcutter, and basically explained the woodcutter that, the reason why his productivity is down, the reason why he's facing these issues is because in between his regular stuff, he forgot to basically cut the axe, sharpen the axe. So now the woodcutter understood and he sharpened the axe regularly, and he could see that his performance came back to the original state. The key, there are various moral of the story, right? But one of them is that, which is true, is that most of us are too busy doing and trying to achieve what that we never take time to learn and grow. For me, probably it might be for me and me it would be probably learning, increasing my business and sales and revenue, right? For the students it might be that you are too busy completing your subjects and targeting to achieve a CGPA of 8 no matter what happens, right? But most of us doesn't have the time or patience to update our skills, knowledge and beliefs about an industry, or to take time or take out time to think and reflect what we want to do. That is a key challenge, right? Many of us, I'm not saying all, but many of us do assume that learning ends with the completion of subjects, and so sharpening of the axe is not a priority. However, what Microfocus is doing here as part of a strategic initiative with Ganpat University is that we have integrated our industry-based subjects and program into your curriculum, so that your sharpening of axe becomes deeply immersed with your engineering curriculum, and it is presented to you in a fun-based learning and with unparalleled industry experts to get you the best of both the worlds. Having said that, I'll quickly move into the customer success stories. We have more than 5,000 students who have followed our specialization courses. We have this program running in China, India, Philippines, Malaysia. Of course, we have also run this program now in Singapore and in US. And these are some of the universities logos, which I would like to share, where our programs are already running. Ganpat University is already here. So this is about it. So of course, a lot of experience, a lot of thought has gone into making this, on crafting this program to ensure that at the end, the students are successful. These are some of the photos. We did a poster competition in Sage University. When we do a poster competition, you would see that all the students would be getting Microfocus t-shirts, and they would be wearing the t-shirt. They have to wear the t-shirt and come on the day, and then we do this competition, and then prize distribution happens. We also, this is where I can see Mahendra Sharma ji, where we have done a sign-off ceremony. Then we also participated in one of the marathon events where more than 10,000 students alone from a university ran. And of course, with them, there were other professional runners also who had taken part, who had participated in this running event. That's me there. Okay, so that's all about the program and the deliverables. A quick wrap up. So as we discussed, we have short specialization programs, 2 long-term integrated programs, which ranges from 80 to 100 hours. This complements, this would of course complement your academic training with the software professional skills that is required by the job market. These are the key trending technologies and areas where we deliver our program, where our curriculum is focused. Of course, she covered in details on the software jobs and how the salaries is hot in these particular areas. Companies benefit because they see that they have a reduced onboarding cost. They can get people whom they can hire and deploy on the project, rather than hiring them, then spending a lot of putting a lot of investments in training them and then putting them into projects. So of course, the employability quotient, as I always say, gets increased phenomenally for the students who take this program and follow the program properly. Of course, for the students, the benefit comes in as the jobs. For the jobs, they get the professional skills which is needed by the company. So companies and students complement each other. And it is not only about asking job to a company. The companies would also require the students. So that's something which is a mutual benefit which students and companies get. And of course, then for the universities, tying up with renowned brands and delivering these programs helps, of course, attract more companies for the placement. The students gets uh, more professional, they get more skilled, of course, which increases their chances of getting into a job. And of course, then more increased reputation in terms of the marketing and branding in the surrounding areas, or against the other universities which are there in the same region. This is from the other, again, some of the statistics which we have already covered. And last but not least, of course, Micro Focus is the largest FTSE 50 software company. So that's something which I say FTC is, of course, they're the top 50 companies which are listed on the London Stock Exchange. This last tech, of course, so we are focused on our success. I would like to reiterate, we empower you with the critical industry skills that gives you the upper edge for the students who are pursuing a vanilla engineering course. We protect you from the changes in the technology by ensuring that the curriculum we deliver to you are relevant, and you get enabled on the latest trending technologies that enables you to exploit new innovation. And we partner with the universities and the students for long-term success for everyone. So thank you. That's all from my side. Back to Dr. Mahendraji for, if you have something. What's the next on the agenda, Mahendraji?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Sriram and Mr. Mangalam, for giving an overview, clarity on this program, how the delivery methods available with the Micro Focus Software University in collaboration with the Ganpati University. You have focused how to develop soft skills during this program also. So that would be a great help to the students once they opt for this program. We understand to get marks in a curriculum or like sharpen a skill in a particular in a practical side, that are totally different. And this program is specially, I can say that it's mainly designed for sharpening skills in a practical side for the students. Already 120 students have enrolled this program, and they already working on the various projects which is given by Micro Focus in collaboration with the Ganpati University. And now we are moving ahead for the panel discussion. And I'm also very much curious to like ask some questions that would be helpful to the students. Before that, I'm thankful to Mr. Sriram, Mr. Mangalam, and Mr. Uday Shankar for like sharing their thoughts and helping us. Here, I would like to ask that this is a like pandemic situation and COVID-19 situation which is like going on. So everybody and every student is working under a like lockdown period, and it was a little bit challenging for us also. Whenever we were delivering our lectures and class and laboratories, then we were also worried that how to deliver and what kind of the methods that we are supposed to do. But successfully that we completed that phase, and still like the placement activity which is also going on in a parallel, and many challenges which we are also facing around the period during especially lockdown period. So my question is to all the panelists from the Micro Focus, that this how Micro Focus program will be helpful to the freshers to grab the job especially for the competitive market, and especially pertaining to the COVID-19 situation.
Sure. So I think Mangalam here. So I would like to Uday to answer this. Uday, you have been silent, so you cannot escape. So go ahead, Uday.
Sure. Thank you so much, Amin sir, for asking this question. In fact, I was looking an opportunity to share something. See, most of the answer, what we have to get it from the students is what exactly they are looking forward in this pandemic situation, how they are coping up with their career aspirations. That is most important thing. When it comes to the micro focus program, as by Mr. Shriram and Mr. Mangalam has explained to us, that there are number of enormous opportunities students are getting from micro focus, be it is the content, be it is the kind of learning they are going to have it. We are not talking something about after 10 year or 20 year, what will happen, but certainly after 5 year, what kind of opportunity every students should have and how they should be ready to get that opportunity and grab that opportunity. Looking at aspects, we are helping all the students to go through the experts classes. We have like from Micro Focus, a lot of worldwide experts comes into that topic wise, and they help every students to make sure that when they get into the industry, sitting in the classroom, we help them to create a solution, think about a solution, and uh, give the solution to the corporate. So that's what the differentiating factor it creates to all the students coming under this program, where they learn the quality content, which helps them to make sure that when they pass out from this program, from this particular university, they are mostly updated with their skills. Second thing is that they have hands-on experience. They can create the solution, they can talk about the solutions. They don't need to they need to go to the corporate and think for, sit for 6 months or a year and get some information and learn something and then spell the solutions over there. So we help them to grab those opportunities, everything under this program. And that's the reason when this COVID-19 situation has come up, I'm sure we have also to talk about one of the platform involved in this, that is iTrack, which is coming from the TransNeon Technology and partner with Micro Focus for this particular program. We bring in a lot of opportunity for the students to go for small projects. We have the companies partnered. Apart from this Micro Focus, we have a lot of other companies who has offered a lot of e-internship, because now everything it is in e-mode. So we talk about the e-meeting, we talk about the e-webinar, and that's the reason we have bring in the concept of e-projects, e-internships, and e-job offers. So what happens here, this all a 360-degree combination, as Mr. Mangalam said in the last slide, that we protect the students. So definitely we protect, and we mean that in this entire discussion, that the students right from the day one coming to the Ganpati University, entering from the gate, and when they walk out, they will be loaded with this kind of information, the kind of skills which industry would respect and they require. So that's the kind of protection we provide to the students, and this is how they will be helpful to the industries also, to how to come out with this pandemic situation and how to give a better solution or better service to their customers.
Right, true. Now we would like to keep this forum open to all the panel members. So I request to the panel members, you can raise the question, and that would be helpful and great help to the students also. Please.
Hi Singhania ji, this is Rajan Purohit. Hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining this webinar and providing really an insightful information to all our prospective students who are interested in making their career in this emerging technology. Shriram ji, thank you very much for sharing your experience and your real life examples also that would seriously encourage and inspire our students. We just wanted to know that through this collaboration, what kind of projects the students get an access to from Micro Focus Software University, and what would be the mechanism of having this kind of a project, because we understand that it will have a greater implication on the overall learning experience and the skills acquisition on the students.
Sure. Shri, you want me to take this forward? Shri, you're on mute. You're on mute still.
Please answer, Mangalam, but I'll
Sure.
add my own experience at the end. Okay.
Okay, absolutely. Sure. So, okay. So, hi, Rajanji. Nice to talk to you again. So, basically, as part of the projects, what we have done is as I had mentioned, that overall the program.
Your voice is not clear, Mangalam. Your voice is not clear.
Labs.
Mangalam,
Okay,
your voice
is it
is
better
not
now?
clear. Yeah, better.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, better.
So I was saying that 60% of the labs, what we do, 60% of the course, what we do is purely labs and hands-on exercises. So typically, what would happen is that students would cover some subjects, then they would do labs, and this cycle goes on. But at the end of every year, we give them mini projects, which would basically encompass all the topics what they've learned over the 1 year time, which is around 2 semesters. So you would see in total, they would have 3 mini projects that they would do at the end of every year. Plus, they would have a mega project at the end towards the 7th or the 8th semester, where all the topics what they have learned would be integrated together and near real-time use case on basically industry requirements, or typically how industry behaves or what industry has in terms of project needs, right? So we simulate those kind of project requirements, and that is something which is given to the students. So what we firmly believe is the annual integration into mini projects and then a final integration of all the topics into a mega project is something that would help the students achieve what they want, or the learning outcome what we want the students to have at the end of the program. You would like to add something? You're on mute.
I think it's a great question from Purohit and I appreciate the answer from Mangalam, but okay. I will not talk about microfocus now. I'll let Mangalam answer that. I'll share my own experience, right? So back in when I was in BITS and I had my 4th year project, I did a project in non-renewable sources of energy, right? So back in '96, I did this project covering non-conventional, renewable sources of energy, right? Non-conventional. So covering wind, solar, and so on in '96. So I'm not sure how many of you remember back in '96, we did not have too many wind farms for generating wind energy. So I literally went and visited a wind farm to understand what and how a wind farm is set up and how it is generating a wind energy. So I think we will provide the platform, as Mangalam has said, we will enable you, but the drive, passion, and hunger for excellence has to come from you. That's very, very important. Okay? I just thought I'd share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sriram, for sharing your experience. That would be helpful to all the students. Now it's an open forum to each and everyone. So I request more like panelists to raise their question.
Hello, Mr. Sriram and Mr. Mangalam. This is Professor K.P. Patel. Firstly, I would like to thank you for throwing focus on different programs under Microfocus Software University. Hope it will be very much helpful for every learners. My question is, will Microfocus provide some research opportunities to the students under this program? And what kind of data access can be provided for that?
So I think, so Mangalam, you want me to answer and you can add actually, Mangalam, right? So I think definitely there's an intent from our side to provide access to research. And I think we also, and having come from India, right, I had opportunities to settle down elsewhere. Personally, also, I want to see how research can be fueled in India and increase in India and contributes to the society followed by business. So on completion of projects, I think we can get in touch with us and see how and what we can do in terms of research and how we can connect with the partners in our ecosystem for research work and how it will serve both the research organizations or the business and your aspirations as well. It's possible, but I think this is something that we will have to do post completion of the courses and studies. Mangalam, you want to add?
No, perfect, Shri. I think so. That's well covered everything.
Okay, thank you.
Now, any panel member or students, they can raise their question. I think during your presentation and this panel discussion, everything is covered, and we have our coordinator. So if any student wish to question anything, if they have any particular query, then they can contact our counselor, and we will definitely reach to all the eminent experts, and we will let you know by the all the means of communications. So like we wind up the session, and especially we are moving towards the vote of thanks. So especially I am thankful to Honorable Pro Chancellor and Director General Dr. Mahendra Sharma sir for sharing his thought, especially for encouraging to start up this program. Actually, whenever this the meetings and everything which happen to start in a collaboration with the Microfocus University, so the like backend we can say he was only the Director General who has like pushed up to start this program, and finally we had started this program, and we are like moving on the successful direction. So I'm thankful to Dr. Sharma sir. I would like to special give a thanks to Mr. Sriram Rajgopalan and Mr. Mangalam for nicely presenting, focusing on about the activities run under the Center of Excellence with the Ganpat University and Microfocus. We will definitely like bring to the notice of our students, and definitely that would be helpful to the students once they opt for this particular course. Mr. Uday Shankar, like whenever we started all the licensing and everything, so Uday Shankar, that was like behind the screen, and like he has helped very much. I would like to thank to Miss Sangeeta from Transneuron for like coordinating all the events and everything. Especially, I would like to give a thanks to Dr. Vanjara for coordinating for from our side, Dr. Paresh and Dr. Rajan sir, Dr. KP Patel, Dr. Satyen Parikh for joining this program and encouraging the students. Especially our team also working behind this particular success of this program, not for particular this webinar, but whatever the programs which we are running for like Microfocus and the Center of Excellence. So Professor Manan Thakkar, all the faculty members of CEIT and the rest of all the faculty of engineering and technology, FCA. So all entire team members, they are working hard to deliver in a what the best way we can deliver to the students, and the students would be benefited through this program. At last but not least, I am thankful to each and every individual, all the participants for attending this event, especially for sparing a time due to this lockdown and COVID-19 situation which is happening. But we understand that much more mass which is like attending this event. That means they are very much curious for their career, and really that would be a great help to them for like building that shape of their career. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining with us in this pandemic situation. Have a good day, and remain safe with your family members.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
So I request each and every students to leave that particular webinar, so that you will be safe, because otherwise you will remain same in the webinar meeting. So my humble request to each and every participant to leave, to exit from the webinar link. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
Mr. Pravesh, can you leave all the participants, and I request all the panelists remain available so that we can further discuss also for 5-10 minutes.
So I'm working on that, sir. So there is a no attendee, sir.
Pravesh, it shows one attendee.
One, but sir, I already removed, so it will take time.
So I think there is no attendee.
સર પેલા ટ્રાન્સન્યુરોન ના પેલા છે મેડમ.
ના નહીં, એમની જોડે જ વાત કરવાની છે મેડમ. મેડમ,